Well, singer R. Kelly back in court right now after spending yet another night in the county jail.
Now, he's been in there since Friday night, and R. Kelly's attorney says he's having trouble making bail because he, quote, doesn't have any money.
This is someone who should be wealthy at this stage of his career. And through mismanagement and through people hangers on and bad contracts and bad deals and bad leases like he had in his studio, he really doesn't have any money at this point. I don't even think he owns the rights to I Believe I Could Fly.
Now, a judge set a $1 million bond for Kelly on Saturday. He's charged with 10 counts of criminal sexual against 4 victims, including 3 minors. And the charges stem between 1998 and 2010, and Kelly has denied all allegations.
So here to talk more about all these allegations is TV host and pop culture expert Jawn Murray. He interviewed R. Kelly at his home in Chicago after he was acquitted of the child pornography case back in 2008. But now, of course, R. Kelly in trouble once again.
So, John, we just saw a picture of you there. You know the guy, you know the house, you know what's going on there. Why is R. Kelly back in court today?
Well, you know, he is facing 4 counts of sexual misconduct, sexual assault. This isn't double jeopardy. They're not retrying him from his previous crimes. But Michael Avenatti, a name we all know from Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump, he developed these new clients, these whistleblowers who had a new tape, allegedly of R. Kelly with a 14-year-old girl. He's turned that over to the Cook County authorities there in Illinois, and they have indicted R. Kelly on these 10 charges.
Well, they have that, but, you know, the Lifetime documentary, Surviving R. Kelly, do you think that was the impetus that prompted all of this, obviously new tapes resurfacing?
Well, Megan, I was on with you shortly after the documentary, and one of the things that I told you then was the executive at Lifetime, there's a black female executive whose name escaped me, but she fought to get this documentary on because her higher-ups did not want it on. But the mission of this documentary was strictly to get the girls out of the house and to finally bring justice to R. Kelly. They felt like he had escaped justice for so long, and so the mission of Surviving R. Kelly really has been served in this situation. And if the whistleblowers and some of the witnesses that I'm hearing may actually be who they are, then Surviving R. Kelly actually resonated with them as well, I'm told, and that's why they decided to also participate in this.
Well, you know people in the house, John. What's going on in the house now? R. Kelly's out. He's in jail. Are people going in the house, getting the girls out of the house? Are the people working in the house?
Well, there are 2 girls that remain in the house. They were actually in court with him when he was there over the weekend, and their parents were there, but they would have no interaction with them. But this is the most shocking part of this all. R. Kelly's financial situation, as we heard his attorney say in the clip, it's like the Facebook status. It's complicated. This man has had 17 solo records. He's done soundtracks. He's produced songs for Whitney, Michael, Celine Dion, you name it. But he doesn't have access to $100,000 liquid cash to pay his bond. It's unthinkable. And so the people that I know that are still attached to him say he probably has access to about $30,000, but he can't get any more than that right now. And he's probably trying to get an advance off of some of the performance rights money from like a Sound Exchange or a BMI to try to make that bail today.
Well, oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, and meanwhile, you say
absolutely.
This very same judge that saw R. Kelly over the weekend is the judge that saw Jussie Smollett in Chicago, of course, the Empire star who's accused of making up this whole attack against himself. Now we're getting word about a check in that case that may be part of the evidence?
Listen, Alex, the block is hot in Chicago. You think Oscars had L.A. hot last night? No, Chicago has it on and popping. It's crazy in Chicago, at least in the crime scene, I should say. So here's the thing. Yes, over the weekend, we got to see the great work of Mark Garagos at play. Jussie Smollett has engaged Mark Garagos, and a lot of the stories that the Chicago superintendent presented as evidence, a lot of the stuff that was in the bond agreement that was made public last week, we're starting to see that stuff contested. So the whole thing about the check being paid as a result of paying for the hoax, well, we now see that the check was paid for physical fitness and nutrition services to get Jussie ready for a video. So they're trying to debunk a lot of the things that have been put forth in the court of public opinion, and Jussie Smollett is standing by his story, and the people at Empire seem to be standing by their guy, other than having him step out of the episodes for the season finale.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that for a moment, because we heard from Terrence Howard, who of course plays Lucius Lyon, Jussie's on-screen father. He's now speaking out.
Yeah, Terrence Howard posted an Instagram video over the weekend with Jussie playing with his young child, and the caption was very endearing. And just, paraphrasing, he said, "We stand by you, and nobody else should be judging you. Let the criminal justice system do its part and let it play out." Listen, Terrence Howard has always been an outlier. He's always played to the beat of his own drum, and I've talked to some of the higher ups on the Empire set, and they too are conflicted. Like, they see what the evidence says, they see the stuff that's being presented to the public, but they believe their guy. They're in covenant, they have a relationship with him, and they want the best for Jussie, and they're hoping his version of the story is actually true.
Wow. Well, there's a lot of evidence on the other side too, John.
All right, John, buddy, good to see you. Always insightful. And guess what? I'm sure we're going to be talking to you again.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a good one, John.
All right.